Hello, and a big warm welcome to Beverly today.
Hello, Ricky.
Hello. Beverly is an integrative psychotherapist, and Beverly works within schools and also in private practice. And today, you're here to share your experiences around bipolar. Um, we're going to go down a few little, in a few different conversations with that, including stigma. That stigma inside and outside the profession as well. And then after, I'm really looking forward to hearing your poem as well. Yeah, welcome, Beverly. And would you like to just let everybody know a little bit about yourself and about bipolar and your experience?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Ricky. So I'm Beverly, and I was diagnosed with bipolar when I was 21 years old. So it was in the middle of my undergraduate degree.
Hmm.
Um, I was diagnosed after being sectioned under the Mental Health Act for 9 days. So it was quite a tumultuous time. Um, so since then, so I'm 51 now, so it's 30 years ago. So quite a lot has happened in that space.
Yeah.
Um, but I think throughout my life, bipolar it's kind of hard to separate bipolar from Beverly.
Right.
I know that different individuals, especially who maybe see bipolar as disordered, so they would name it as bipolar disorder.
Yeah.
They would say they have bipolar. Um, yeah, does that answer your question? I will tend to go off topic, so you might need to reel me in a bit, Ricky.
Yeah, that's fine. It does, yeah, and I can hear in that the diagnosis is different for different people. And it came at a time for you when you for 9 days you were under the Mental Health Act. So I wonder how's the diagnosis for you?
It was amazing. Yeah, so yeah, I'd been really struggling to be honest. So, however you want to name it, I'm quite happy to call it psychosis. So I would lose touch with reality. So I would have auditory hallucinations and visual, as well as illusions and delusions.
Yeah.
So I didn't know why this was happening to me. It was incredibly frightening. Um, my then partner had no idea either. So to have something that made sense of it, and not only that, but had a treatment pathway
Yeah.
was it was like revelationary for me.
Mm. I can hear in that there was some hope that came in with the diagnosis, some hope that perhaps there's something that can be done. There's a way for you to cope with it. Um,
100%.
yeah. Okay. And I know that we spoke a little bit before, and today you really wanted to get across about stigma. Um, there's two sides to this story. So there's stigma within your life, and then there's also stigma within the profession of being a counselor. Which way would you like to go with that?
I kind of think they overlap really. I think so when I did my master's dissertation, part of it was about stigma.
Mhm.
It's something that's always greatly interested me,
Mm.
the idea of stigma and how society and individuals stigmatize certain things and not others.
Yeah.
Um, I think for me, I've I've always felt a sense of stigmatization around bipolar. So, I mean, you got in touch with me via LinkedIn, so to look at it in the workplace, it's definitely for me. I don't know about everybody, but it's really improved. So since the emergence of the Equality Act.
Yeah.
And the, bipolar's under, it's recognized as a disability under there. So an employer has to make reasonable adjustments for someone like myself. Where I work now, they've been in the school, they've been incredible. Even being forthcoming with adjustments that I hadn't even thought of
Wow.
to make my to make my work-life balance and because at times I'm still incredibly unwell.
Mhm.
And I make no bones about that. So my clients know about my diagnosis. Maybe it's not for everybody to come and see me, and that's okay.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I feel really strongly that if people like myself who most of the time function really well and are coherent and articulate and well, fairly well dressed. But if people like me don't stand up and say, if you look at DSM-5, I have a serious mental illness, that's my label, then I think society would still think that it's that SMI, serious mental illness, is me as a 21-year-old, dribbling, incoherent, rocking in a chair, really, really very unwell. So I've always felt obligated in some strange way to be very vocal about bipolar.
Yeah. And bringing that into the room as well. I'm just imagining all of the benefits for clients. You being vulnerable, showing yourself, being authentic. The Equality Act really interested me actually because often we don't think about some of the acts and how important they are. However, I can hear for you, you noticed a real shift, a real difference with the Equality Act and how that helped employers that perhaps may not have helped you in ways. Now they have to.
Yeah, and do you know what? It's quite a conflicted thing, really, because in order for an employer to grant you reasonable adjustments, they have to know. And there are still unscrupulous employers out there who I'm damn sure if I applied for certain positions and was upfront about my condition, um, I wouldn't get the job because of it.
Mm.
And that's just, I've worked for places um, that have been discriminatory. Maybe they wouldn't be now. I don't know. This is, talking 10 years ago. Um, so yeah, I really do feel I'm in a very, very enviable position now. I worked bloody hard to get where I am. I did my master's when I was 40, not 40, sorry, when I was late 40s. So to change career. Um, so I'm in a really fortunate position now where most of the time, I'm choosing my hours. I can put my well-being first. I'm my employer. I'm quite a good employer, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mm. That's it's lovely to hear that you've got to that place where things are easier to cope with, easier for you to have that life that you want. I guess there was still that little bit of sadness in me when I heard you say that you've had to work bloody hard for it. You've had to fight for it almost. And I'm sure that fight's going to help many people in the future. But I'm sure it wasn't that easy at the time.
No, it wasn't. Yeah. Can I swear on this podcast?
You
No.
absolutely can. You absolutely can.
Let's put it this way, Ricky. I've
Yeah.
been through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I really have. I've been through a hell of a lot of shit in my life, personally and professionally, and it's took me a really long time to get to a place of peace. And I can honestly say, that I'm at a place of peace. So I used to have to separate almost professional Beverly
Mhm.
because I worked in a really corporate environment. And at times I felt I had to separate personal Beverly, who
Mhm.
would at times be batshit crazy, and professional Beverly, who was suited and booted and incredibly articulate and coherent and presenting to a room full of people. And they didn't always, they didn't always go together.
Mm.
Um, but now I've never not been open about my diagnosis, not ever, to my detriment at times, but I've never not been open about it. But now I am like completely out there with it. So, on all of my advertising for being a psychotherapist, it's on there. On my Instagram, on LinkedIn, on X, although I'm coming off there soon anyway, because I don't like it. That's a different
Yeah.
story. Um, but yeah, I'm completely who I am. And it's absolutely beautiful to be able to be who I am.
Mm. It sounds really empowering. It's great to hear that confidence as well. Y- it's really well. I know earlier you said as well that within some jobs, eh, perhaps you wouldn't get the job if you said who you are. So it's really nice to hear that you've got to a point where none of that on the outside is going to stop you from being you. None of it's going to hide you. And I know there's a line in your poem that's coming up for me with that, and it ends with "Come as you are."
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really I wrote that poem, gosh, over 10 years ago, I would have thought. But it's really tricky when you have and some people, they don't see bipolar. I've been having lots of debate recently on LinkedIn with various people
Mhm.
about how they see bipolar and whether it's you should tackle it more from a neurodivergence angle, which I absolutely think it is. I do feel it's neurodevelopmental. But I also believe that I'm at times incredibly ill, so there's that element to it. But yeah, I think come as you are, you know, it really holds a lot of weight for me. I wrote that line when I wasn't a therapist, but it holds so much weight, as I'm sure you'll understand from the point of view as a therapist, because all we ever ask of our clients is, whoever you are, whatever you bring to the space, just come as you are. That's enough. And it took me a really long time. Oh, that came up. It took me a really long time to come as I am, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a journey. I can hear the proudness
Yeah.
in that of being you and being unapologetically um you as well. So, and also that's what this podcast is all about. It's about showing that actually therapists have got their own, to use your word, shit going on
Yeah.
as well. And it's important to show that, right? Because there was, and I know you before we spoke that them and us at some points within the profession.
Yeah.
That's really important to be proud of who we are and to break down that barrier.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I remember applying for the masters and I didn't have any experience with children or young people or anything therapeutic or pastoral. On top of that, I had what, DSM-5 say is a serious mental illness, and I'm thinking, oh my God, they're just not going to accept me.
Mm.
And they did, and yeah, it was, I've had over the past 2 years. I've had some like massively proud moments, personal moments, personally really proud moments. Um, it's been astonishing.
Yeah. And it makes me happy to hear that. It makes me happy to see the journey and all of it. And thank you for showing the hard parts and the parts that you're proud of, because it's important for people to hear both. And I guess one thing I'd like to say about the profession is it's really important that we accept people within the profession, because if we've got counselors going out there that are unable to accept mental health issues within, then how can they accept their clients fully? Well,
Absolutely. I
um,
think it's really important as well that some of the people, my colleagues, if you like, who I have come across who are therapists and who have had really quite serious mental health challenges, they are amongst the most self-aware.
mm,
And as you know, you really do need self-awareness and to be able to self-reflect. So I think there's one thing to have mental health challenges and go into the therapy space unknowingly. But it's quite another, even when it's a serious label, but to know in your heart, your soul, that you are fit to practice.
yeah, it's a really important message to get out there. Beverly, I am, and I'm sure everyone else is very excited to hear your poem. Are you feeling ready to share that with us?
Absolutely.
Great.
Ode to Kurt Cobain. I have a mental illness, so apparently I'm sick. If you knew what went on upstairs, you would not be so quick to judge and jurify me and to label me as sad. You may just glimpse beyond the shell and find the sane are mad. For bonkers dumb, I'm pleased to note, can sometimes be a gift, yet other times invades your mind, don't recognise the shift. One day you're thrilled I'm crazy, then the next politely say, "Oh, there she goes, creative Bev, she should be locked away." My darker side does not lie down, I know it wants me dead, for suicidal thoughts emerge and terrorise my head. No longer bonkers, Beverly, affectionately put, because of fear and ignorance, your welcome door slams shut. While we're alive on this great earth, with will to speak your mind, why not unearth our inner voice, an awesome beauty find? Please, please do not be fearful, for as Kurt Cobain once said, there is no need to change yourself, come as you are instead.
Thank you for watching. Seriously, it means the world to me and our guests that you took the time to watch. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because it really does help the channel to grow. And equally, you won't miss what's coming next if you do that. The aim of this channel and what me and the guests are trying to do is we're trying to inspire, and we're also trying to give other people a sense of belonging. And at the very least, we're trying to make other people feel seen and heard. And that's our hope with this channel. If this video spoke to you anyway, then please do check out our other videos just here. We will catch you in the next episode.